to the Solution, a real estate podcast where myself, Phil Sexton, and
Jeff Seabach,
we sit down with microphones between us to talk about the industry, to talk about putting consumers first, to talk about how we have built our team, what we focus on, training our team, and, you know, just some different things about what we see in the industry. Today's being a bigger examination, if you will, at why agents are moving to eXp.
Right. We went to eXp Con and we were reminded why
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Two weeks
First
ago.
we went to Inman, then we went to eXp Con, and it was just the tale of two events, kind of like the tale of two cities. Like eXp Con was a lot of hooting and hollering. It was packed. It was, 5,500 people in person, 3,000 online, 8,500 people came out for their event. And Inman, because, if you think about the portion of agents that eXp is now, where they're approaching 70,000, there's 1.2 million agents. So really it's less than 10%, but yet they were able to almost double the amount of people that Inman got to come to the event.
They like tripled or quadrupled in person.
They were just so much more happier about, I think that's why we're talking today is, 2-3 years in, like, wow, we're super happy. So let's help share.
Yeah, I think also we at that event, we were celebrating the fact that they had crossed 67,000 agents at the company.
Yep.
And yesterday, 2 weeks later, they celebrate that they crossed 69,000 agents at the company.
Yeah.
They're gaining 1,000 agents a week. And I think that a lot of agents that are on that aren't there are like, why? Why are all these people going? I don't see it. I don't like it. It was presented to me and I'm not interested.
Right. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But
yes.
Yet when you think of 1,000, because I'm like, oh my God, right? Like, because the goal that they set out was that they're going to be at 500,000 agents in 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're at 60,000. Holy cow. But then I was like, the reality is, because I was thinking, how the hell are they going to get to 500,000 agents? And I wasn't thinking globally. Right. I wasn't thinking of the global expansion and the amount of commercial, because we went there, the amount of commercial that they had was way more than I didn't even know.
We're so residential guys.
Yeah.
We're in the residential
blinded
space.
up, and they had a whole event on commercial and all that stuff. But I was just thinking, because I know when I came over, I didn't believe that people were going to come over under me. And I'm telling you, up until a few weeks ago, I still was on the idea of that eXp wasn't that great. It was great great enough for me to be like, I need to like save the world. Great. Right. Like, I did not believe that it was like, okay, almost like I quit my job and I have to do everything possible to help this brand grow because it helps us as owners. But where I was just joining, like, I was like, I was afraid.
Brokerage.
I was afraid. Yes.
Now, you put it in a category that most people do, and that is it's a real estate brokerage. And that, I think, is what we have been lulled asleep in.
Yeah.
It's just a brokerage. Let's talk to you about what we do as a team, though.
Right.
And after that, I think I don't know, maybe it was the magical number of 67,000, because when we joined at 16,000 agents in 2019, we were like, I don't know if they're going to get to 20,000.
Yeah.
And then they do.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if they're going to get to 30. And then they do. And then 3 years later, we're sitting at a conference where you have 4 times as many people in person as Inman.
Right.
And that's when it was like, okay, this thing is actually gaining momentum.
Can't stop it.
We can't stop it.
Yeah. No, we can only, we don't want to contain it because it makes our stock worth more. But the realize that, wow, then if they're going to come anyway, is where I was like, if they're going to come anyway, they might as well come under me. Because at the end of the day, Carlos, I'm like, how am I going to win? And realize that, holy cow, that I only need to recruit like
10 people a year.
10 people a year. Yeah. And I mean, my number is 300, right? Like, but the reality is it's the water's warm over here, right? Like we came here and it's not like we have no more brand envy of anything else, because we know that all brands, there's not a better place than people. I mean, we've been at a couple. Like we're going to talk about a couple.
I think that kudos to obviously for timing, right? I mean, it doesn't hurt that we go through a global pandemic where everybody has to work from home and everybody starts to get more accustomed to cloud-based things. And I mean, Glenn obviously had this vision when he started the company, but it is still, it is becoming a more realistic and more accepted vision of a cloud-based company than
the theory was
we even thought when we joined before the pandemic.
Yeah, because I think that the number one thing that agents said up until now was it's not going to make it. It's what's going to happen after. But realizing that because of the way that the model is designed, that 50% of the revenue goes to the agents and 50% goes to the brokers, which makes sense to me.
So again, 50% is company money.
And
like
50,
eXp,
right, and 50% of it gets distributed to all of the agents are with eXp.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, well, people are going to leave for the stock. When I realized that it's actually the rev share is what will keep the company alive.
Yeah.
Because if we get to, or when we get to 200,000 agents, 300,000 agents, 500,000 agents, we're just selling houses. Right. Like the reality is they're just going to sell houses and all those people are going to still make money. Even if the stock goes to zero.
Yeah.
Like you still have the rev share. And I was not thinking, because I was like, in the beginning, I was like, well, you know, everybody's in it for the stock boom. And now I'm not as much on that. I mean, I still like
the stock is gravy, which we're going to talk a little bit about. But the one other point about the cloud-based is it's interesting how I didn't consider, like when I thought about what a cloud-based brokerage was, to me, I was like, that means that we're going to need to work in the cloud, Jeff, as real estate agents. How is this? And obviously we don't. Well, because here we are in our office. You guys too that tune in and watch us, we're in a physical office, right? We're not in the cloud. We actually come to work in an office every day. But the cloud-based company that eXp is means that all of their staff works in the cloud. They don't have bricks and mortar offices that the company has to pay for. All of their employees, their 1,000 employees that work for eXp Realty are all home-based people, which keeps their overhead low, which is how they can do a 50% rev share goes to the agents and 50% goes to the company. And
90% of agents work out of their home, right? 95%.
Yeah.
It's why let's get to the point. I don't want to,
yeah. But like, you gotta, every time we talk about eXp, you gotta give Glenn's vision, well, a little bit of great job, special human, like he totally disrupted the industry and you got to give him credit for that.
It was seeing him on stage next to a billionaire.
Grant Cardone or Glenn Stearns?
Grant Cardone.
Okay.
There's multiple billionaires there,
yeah.
But being next to him when you have a billionaire talking to a billionaire, you realize that your guy is a visionary.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's not, you're not talking about, I don't know, whoever, but you're talking about where you can start to be like, as Airbnb takes over the world, as Netflix, right? Like all the things that we gotten used to, and Zoom, right? Like the reality of this being something, an internet company, Amazon used to be an internet company and now it's, Carlos, do you use Amazon? Yes, but only because everybody's after brick and mortar. But I mean, the vision from Glenn to be like, this is where it's going. I thought it was going to be Zillow. I really thought that the people that were going to win was going to be Zillow, and I don't think that anymore.
Why? I wonder why he didn't name his company Net Agents. Right?
Yeah.
But Netflix, when they came out, Blockbuster even looked at buying, like they were trying to get Blockbuster to buy them, and Blockbuster, obviously making one of the biggest mistakes of their life, said, not interested. No, thank you.
We can build it on our own.
We'll do it ourselves.
Yes,
that's right.
Right.
Where's Blockbuster? Did you pass one on your way in?
I didn't.
No,
I haven't actually seen one in years.
I passed where it used to be.
Oregon.
There's one.
Last
Okay, nice.
All right, thanks, Lena.
Awesome. All right. So eXp, though,
Icon Leads comes out with this. Because originally I was like, I heard the pitch originally in 2008. Brian was like, my buddy Glenn's coming up, and I was like, Glenn. I mean, Glenn's my friend now, so I don't think of him as that. But at the time, because I was trying to think back to that meeting when I met him in 2008, when he was pitching me for the first time for eXp, because I was still, even up to after we joined, I was still like not convinced that this is going to work. But when you see them but that the billionaire is willing to share half of the revenue from his company with the agents.
I think one of the lines that was great was, as he made himself a billionaire, he made a lot of millionaires. Like, it wasn't just him that grew. It was
but different than Microsoft or Apple, because you had to join when they were starting.
Yeah.
The crazy thing was the story that we heard that of the girl that recruited, she came over just 3 years ago, not one of the people that got the stock at a penny stock. Or clearly they were early winners, but just in the last 3 years, she has become a millionaire,
from the model.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I think that did she come from Keller? I mean, we all came from somewhere, some brick and mortar office.
I mean, we have to be thankful that Keller Williams came out with the 7-tier model, right?
Yeah.
The difference was that the 7-tier model was on profit sharing. Because you think about our office, and I was trying to think about here, because we gross GCI in the range of 3 million, and we have a profitability, but it's actually.
But the revenue versus the profit is a big discrepancy.
And even because with an office, you got to pay out all the people and all the commissions and all that revenue. All the revenue goes out the door because all the agents get all the money. What's left over for profit is super small, and then you split it up. I mean, my friend Brent, he had
the most
17 years.
He had the most profitable Keller Williams office in the country one of the years, and he was making about $700 a month. So like he jokes that he almost paid for his car payment, right? Or weekend fund money. Whereas people in this model are retiring.
Yeah.
He joined and started to talk about it with other agents as he was doing transactions, and he brought 55 people with him that first year. And what do you know, that's turned into 5 years later, he was able to retire.
Yeah, but just by introducing other people to a brokerage. I mean, the thing is because when we were at Realty One Group, and I am thankful for what we learned there, and I am thankful for the vision, and but the only thing I was disappointed about is because they didn't give out a lot of trophies. You knew that. I wanted the trophy because I thought that's what a broker would deliver.
No.
Would be.
I know you forget what you had, and not everybody forgets what you had. You just were so used to it you couldn't even see it. Jeff, your face was on the plaque on the wall every month as the top salesperson in that office.
Yeah.
And everybody that walked by got to see your face on that plaque on the wall as being the top salesperson in that office.
Yeah. Yeah. And now with eXp, once I sell 25 houses a year, they give me $16,000 in stock.
Yeah. It's a little different than the plaque.
Yeah, a little bit. The plaque was good.
You actually still get plaques here.
I agree. No,
you get plaques and stock.
I know, but not understanding the impact. So there's a thing they have is called the Icon Agent Award. And in the Icon program, once you hit that for the year, you get an award. Now, of course, there is a vesting period of 3 years, but the reality is I know what those trophies are worth now. And at least the stock has real value. So what are you really giving up if you pay them $16,000, but then they give you $16,000 back? I mean, just even not talking about the rev share, not talking about the stock that you can buy, not talking about the other stuff.
The healthcare, the leads, the training.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
To think that you're now being paid to be there. Because if you just recruit one person and you sell 20 houses a year, you're net positive with your broker, and you own a piece of that company. Like the thing is when I was at my old company, the person that got the wealthiest was the owner, right? Like Dave Liniger at Remax, billionaire, right? But not making I've already benefited here. I wasn't going to, but I've already made $1 million from work. Yeah. Like it's so crazy that the opportunity exists for every single person that comes over. Because
it's actually why we chose it. Because when we were shopping for where we were going to take our team, all of the other brokers were offering us stuff like, hey, Jeff, come on over because then you and Phil will get this, whatever this might be. Okay, great. So then we're going to go tell our team that the reason we chose this is because we got all of this and you guys get nothing. No, that didn't sit well with us.
But when I could tell my agents that I
got it. The 4 pillars.
Okay.
Number 1, leads. Number 2, training. Number 3, stock. And number 4, you get to share in the revenue of the company.
Yeah, but I was still sticking on that same point of the fact that, because I'm always trying to invest my money. And when just thinking of it's separate decision, right? Like when you're trying to invest your money, because this is the one that meant a lot to me. I was like, okay, when I buy a house, I can buy eXp stock, right? At 10% off.
You mean when you sell a house and earn a commission?
Yes.
Okay. So when you sell, you're talking about one of the equity awards, if you will, is that you can buy with 5% of your commission.
5% of the commission, you can buy stock every month. It invests in stock for you. It's a savings plan.
Yeah.
Is the way I was looking at a savings plan. I didn't realize my savings plan was going to go up but my financial advisors were always like 8%, Jeff. We can get you 8% in the first year. And I was like, wait a minute. So if I go to eXp and I sell 20 houses and I make 100,000 and I'm buying money with stock, I'm getting it at 10% off. So day one. I don't even have to wait. Like I can resell that. Like that is wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you want to talk about the other stock awards,
sure.
Because when you close your first, like one of the pieces that I think is awesome is as soon as somebody comes to eXp and they close their first house, they get a stock award.
That seems like
so now
broken.
No, but that is now they are
we're not familiar. Well, because for the first time, our broker sent us a check when we did how many times at our old brokerages when we were at John Hall, how many times did your dad send me a check?
Probably none.
Right. Yeah. Yes. No, that's my point is the brokers are not giving stuff to the agents. This is a model that is more pro agent than anyone. Like it's not even close. Right. Like to think that the first year we ended up getting 22 checks.
We got 22 awards.
Stock awards.
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. So I said checks, stock awards, which is still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for it's just crazy how willing they are to share with the.
Yeah. When, so the other stock awards that you get is when you cap, which you've already discussed, right? So when you pay the $16,000, it's got a $16,000 split. It's an 80-20 or $16,000 cap with a 80-20 split. And then after you cap out, and then you close 20 more deals, you then get a $16,000 award back. Okay. And so that's what you're talking about. That's another equity award that you get. And of course, the joke is what we have heard, what we used to say was, remember when we were getting recruited to eXp and they were like, yeah, but you get the money you pay in back. And we were like, yeah, but you got to wait 3 years for it to vest. Who knows what it's going to be worth then? True, but you know what the value of your plaques and trophies are going to be.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, well, because you're not, I mean, the thing is we're just so set on, or the mentality of agents so set on the old world of brokerage, where my relationship with the broker is that I give them money to be there.
Yes.
And this brokerage will pay you to be there as long as you put a little effort into it.
Okay, Jeff, but my brokerage they have done a great job of training me at my brokerage. So I'm going to stay here because the training at my current company is fantastic. And I don't think that you guys don't have training, do you?
I mean, for the $85, you get a membership.
$85
a month. There's a monthly fee, just like when they join, right? So for $85, you get a SkySlope membership, you get a breakthrough broker membership, you get a membership for a leads platform and a database, which is called KV Core. And then it's a lead platform and a database. You get a website. And what am I missing? You also get
eXp University. They've
10 to 15 live classes. That's where I was going. 10 to 15 live classes every week.
Yeah.
Like, how can other brokers?
But the same trainers that are training the brands that you've heard of, the Remaxes, the Keller Williams, all those companies, those same trainers are teaching in eXp. And actually, as we have learned, when we teach in eXp from our office, you have thousands of people around the world in your audience that tune in for your class while we get to shoot it from this office right here.
Yeah, I mean, we've trained thousands of agents in eXp. We're giving it away because we own the company. It's a different idea because when they put my face, well, I thought when you're telling a story about my face on the wall for agent, when I was at the brokerage.
You don't remember that plaque next to their office?
I'm still burnt about the idea that they asked me to use my face in marketing when I just simply said, when you're using my face, will you send them to the CBOC team at eXp? They had the audacity to tell me that, well, that would be unfair to the other brokerages or to them if we recruit them to your team versus somebody else. And
eXp built their model based on that.
Yeah.
If you want to use your face to recruit, then you actually can potentially retire.
Well, the thing is because we recruited well over 100 agents, maybe even 150 agents to our old brokerage.
Yeah.
So how much did you get? I think I got $75. Each year, I got $75 each year.
No, it was $25 a month.
Yeah, but it was capped at 3.
Oh,
yeah. So I would get 25 per agent, but then once you got 3, you got $75. Because the thing is Phil, do you know how many agents that we recruited now, talking up to 10 years ago, are still making money? How many checks of the agents that we recruited to that old brokerage, how many checks they're receiving?
Yeah,
you know that number, right? They're getting up to 15 checks a year, and I'm not getting any checks. Where if I was at eXp, as long as I stayed at the eXp, I would still be getting checks from those people, even if they weren't on my team.
It's not as long as you stay at eXp, because if you die, you can will your rev share to your heirs. You don't put that caveat that you have to be alive. Wow. You don't have to be alive.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm in the Jeff Bezos mindset that companies come and go in that 20 years. But so you're saying if I die in the next 20 years, my kids will.
They still get paid.
All right. Well,
yes,
that's fair.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. We have bounced around a little bit from our initial outline, which is totally off character.
Yeah, you hate it.
It's totally off character.
Like Phil likes to be structured.
We never bounce around.
I'm like, come as we
go. Let's see. One of the points though that I wanted to make is about rev share, because what you're talking about is rev share, right? And when you say that the broker makes 10 or typically agents sell 20 to 30 houses a year.
Right.
And so when you refer somebody to that brokerage makes 10 or 20 checks a year based on how many every time they sell.
Even though you recruited them, that company gets the money.
All right. So sorry. Thank you for letting me organize my thoughts. It's amazing to me how we salespeople in real estate, how many times we get paid when we sell somebody a house. Once. Right. And when we introduce Adam, for example, to eXp, and Adam sells 28 homes this year, we then also get paid with the broker 28 times.
Yes.
In the year.
Until they cap.
And that's year one.
Yes.
Until they cap, right? Year one. And then year two, when he stays there, we get paid 28 times again in year 2.
What happens in year 3, Phil?
28 times again in year 3. And from a salesperson mentality, because a lot of people get into real estate, the ones that are actually figure out how to sell houses are salespeople, right?
Yeah.
Like the good real estate agents know that they're salespeople.
Yeah.
Maybe people getting into the business aren't aware that they're getting into a game of sales, but we're pretty aware. Our audience is pretty aware that this is a sales game. And so we're going to continue to, oh man, should I say it on the podcast? What's funny to me, Jeff, is that everybody wants to learn how to sell houses. They're like this dream of real estate.
Hold on. Slow down. Let me deliver this one well for you. This is the clearest epiphany for for me, it's 18 years in the business, right?
Yeah.
For you, it's how many years in the business?
Since '06, I got licensed.
Right. Like this is what we know for sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Everybody that gets into real estate wants to figure out how to sell houses, and they want to sell a lot of houses.
Me too.
And then once they do, they want to figure out how they get out of selling houses.
Yeah, you don't want to be the frontline guy anymore. You don't want to be
a
showing the homes. I want all listings now because I don't have to get out of my chair. I like everything.
I want to build a team so that then I can still make money off of what I know, but I don't have to show houses anymore.
Then why do they scoff when we say join eXp? Like they must not understand.
I
right?
had a conversation with a guy in Chicago this week who does 25 million. And he's like, I just don't want to show another buyer a house.
Right.
We had a conversation 2 weeks ago with a guy who is here as the #1 agent at the brokerage. And what does he want to do?
He does. He's like,
Stop
get
selling
me out of this. Right. Like
yes.
Well, because
and so what do agents that have been really good in the business, where do they typically go? What does an agent typically do that figures out how to sell houses and wants to stay in the business, but doesn't want to sell houses anymore?
Coaches, brokerage,
coaches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me try to build a team and see how that goes.
Or insurance or everything else. Yeah.
One of the biggest ahas for me is that eXp built a model that allows those people that have figured out how to sell houses to not sell houses anymore.
It's almost like a built-in a coaching program, because if you wanted to be a coach, you just go out, recruit your people you want to coach,
come into the
have
coaching
them come
program.
in. I will just mentor 100 agents to sell houses, and what do you know? You'll be a millionaire in 3 years, right? Like it's crazy to think that if you can sell 30 houses, I'm hoping that if you recruit 100 people, the reality is if you're good at it, 25 to 30 of them are going to turn out to be spectacular. And then they're going to recruit, and then they're going to see how they can make the money, and it's going to just explode. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that was one of my ahas that just to share with you guys.
So to sum up the aha is
sorry, Carlos. Sorry, all of our new agent listeners that are still excited on the front end of that journey, meaning you're still trying to figure out how to sell houses. I just know I can see into the future. You don't want to show houses in 15 years. I can tell.
Me personally, I mean, I'm coming up on 2 years in February.
He's already tired of selling houses.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm right now, since my split up with my previous broker, I'm on a flat fee brokerage, and that's great. No split, flat fee. However, I'm just waiting to become a broker.
Exactly. So that you can sit in an office and earn a salary, leveraging the knowledge that you have.
Exactly.
And that's where I was.
But you're going to have to recruit agents.
That's where I was trying to.
The thing is, and I was recruiting when I was with my old broker, and I loved it. And I loved bringing in new agents. Now here in the state of Texas, I can open an LLC, be sponsored by eXp, and form my own realty company here locally under eXp. So I might go that route.
Yeah, dude, I mean, the thing is it was actually our decision as well, because we were at the time 3 years ago, we were fed up with our old company, and we were just like, you just have that epiphany of where you want to go, and we were because everybody's like, why are you not becoming a broker? I mean, the clear thing for us was brokers don't make money. Brokers don't make money. I don't know why the industry is intent. I mean, there's 110,000. That's why they don't make money, because there's 110,000 of them, but they're not making money because, I mean, Rob Hahn says that, not me. Rob Hahn says that he's looked at their balance sheets for brokers across the country, and it's very slim that they don't make money, but it's silly because when you get in the industry, everybody's like, you should become a broker. Yeah. And that we didn't, because we knew a broker, your dad. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like he was freaking great as a broker. Yeah. Like he got up to over almost 1,000 agents at one point. And him and Marge were spectacular at that. But if he would have folded that into eXp versus selling it, he'd still be getting checks today. Like it's like when you sell the company, you get one check instead of year after year after year. Like it's insane.
I agree that it's insane. I think that we are going to, Yeah, talk about it a little bit more. I appreciate you guys listening to us today, but it has been just a clear aha. It took us 2.5 years, almost 3 years to get this aha moment where, okay, you know what, the water is pretty warm.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start telling other people about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed because I came over, but I was almost embarrassed to talk to people about it because I didn't really.
I viewed everybody that was there as a recruiter.
Yes.
And then when you're there and you start to understand why people are recruiting to it,
Yes.
then you're like, oh, let's share it. And
again,
people want to come.
I came home because I was like, oh my God, there's 2,500 eXp agents in Arizona. There's 70,000 agents. You know, in 5 years, 30% of the people in my state are going to be with eXp because it's not a franchise model.
Yeah.
It's all across the country, all across countries. Like the potential, there's 25 million agents. So I'm thinking globally, right? Yeah. So, you know, even if we can get, the reality is we can get to 500,000 agents. We can get to 750.
All right. I got one for Carlos.
Okay.
Hey, Carlos, you said you like the cats joined us. Great. I saw the cats. Carlos, you said that you like recruiting.
Correct.
Do you also like traveling?
Yes.
Okay. This will be the wrap up because I got to run too, but go ahead.
All right. So what I think is interesting that we haven't really taken advantage of yet is that as eXp's expansion around the world, I think there are 19 countries right now, from Australia, South America, India, etc. Now, if we are going to those countries to talk to real estate agents about eXp, does that become a
business trip?
Business trip, Carlos?
Yes, it does.
There's 2,000 countries. I'm like, game on, right? Like, but that's why we're working on our pitch.
Yeah, like when we travel to Corpus Christi to meet with Carlos and go on a vacation, it's still a business expense.
Yes.
And that I think is underplayed and under talked about. What's up, David? Good to see you.
Good
Thank
to see
you for
you.
coming. I see your hands up.
Yeah, good to see you. I just wanted to share November 30th, a couple days ago, was my 3-year vesting period at eXp. And so I just got all my shares that I earned over the 3 years awarded to me yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Did you buy a house? Did you buy
not yet.
A trip?
But,
where are you going? You're still working. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's all from my retirement. That's one of the main reasons I came over here. But I've capped the last 2 years. I have not hit icon.
Awesome.
But my shares that were just awarded and my 5% are over 6 figures.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Hey, Carlos, like, do you not want to say in 5 years that I made this amount from my broker, right? Like,
so the reason I didn't come in, every single recruiter for eXp that had reached out to me didn't explain it this way. So of course, to me, it was like, it's just another brokerage. I'm out. Like, no thanks. I'm happy where I'm at. I never heard about this, how you guys explained it and broke it down today.
Good deal.
So would I be, do I like the cap? No. But is it worth the cap for me to join and have stock option and have checks coming in from people that I recruit? Of course.
And Carlos, thank you for saying that, because before we were here and they would say things to me like, it's a retirement plan, I didn't connect where every real estate agent goes to die with that retirement plan. Like, meaning every real estate agent that wants to get out of selling houses, right? That is a retirement plan here and wants to become a broker.
I gotta go.
Right,
I gotta meet a contractor. Thank you.
Hey, so if you guys are interested, you can find us, reach out to us. We're happy to chat with you more about it. We also put an email address together, which is join@cboc.com. If you want to shoot me a message, if you want to just go and join eXp and mention Jeff or Phil, Jeff Cboc, Phil Sexton, either one works. We're happy to do it that way as well. But yeah, I'll hang around and ask a couple more questions. What's up, guys? Any other questions from you, Carlos?
No, you explained it really well. I mean, I'm looking forward to, once I finish off probably, or I renew my license, or halfway through next year.
It'll be the best decision of your life.
Yeah. David, you went to eXpCon, didn't you?
No, I did not make it this year.
Oh man, what a celebration. It's crazy.
I was very bummed, but
I had never been a part of a national real estate convention that was like that, because we came from a company that was regional, not national. So I didn't have the Remax or the Keller Williams or the big events that they did. I just see my, friends on social media that went there, and it always looked like it was fun. But to actually go and attend one, it was less work than I expected. It was just a celebrate. Let's learn. Let's share with other people, and the fact that we made this switch, and I didn't expect that camaraderie. It was awesome.
You have so much fun too while
Yes.
doing it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you. See you on the next one.